In all the tantalizing, tyrannical BS going on in certain parts of the nation, one state stands out from the rest lately, and we're going to talk about Missouri and what they're doing to preserve the Second Amendment and shots fired from Missouri across the bow of the federal government, agencies like the ATF, and even local law enforcement. Stick by and watch this next episode of Guns and Gadgets. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your source for Second Amendment news. Man, it's going faster than I can keep up. So much stuff going on nationwide, but I'm doing my best. So please bear with me if some of the videos take a day or so to get to. I am but one jackaroo. So before I get into this Missouri video, and I think you're going to really like this, I want to give a shout out to Blackout Coffee. This company, as well as others, have been standing by this channel, and I always tell you to support those who support you. Well, Blackout has today decided they're going to help support the channel and the costs associated with the trip to Vegas, etc. For SHOT Show, and in order to do that, they're going to try to raise some funds and also save some money for you. So if you use code GNG25, G, the letter N, and the letter G again, 25, you get 25% off. It's their way of saying they support this channel, they support what's going on in the Second Amendment, and if you watch this channel and you like coffee, please give them a shot. Try their coffee if you haven't already. For those who already have, it's an easy way to save 25% and get your favorite coffees. Don't forget my two blends there, 2A blend and 1776. So with that said, John, thank you so much. Your support, it means so much to me. I can only hope to make it worth it for you on this end, and I hope you enjoy the channel for years to come. So thank you. Let's move on to Missouri. So in December, a little bill was pre-filed in Missouri, and it's SB 588, Senate Bill 588. Like always, link will be in the description, and I'm going to tell you about SB 588. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video by a couple minutes, because this is awesome, and you need to know about it, because this is what should be done in every friggin' state. First off, credit where credit is due. This was submitted by Eric Burleson, Senator. He's a Republican in Missouri. I'll put his contact information down below so you can call him and tell him you love him. This is a good one. And also, it is currently sitting in the Senate Transportation Bill, the Infrastructure and Public Safety Committee. Link will be down below as well, so that if you live in the state of Missouri, you can reach out and talk to them and tell them that they ought to pass this, because this is what this nation was founded on. It's good stuff here. I also want to say thank you to my friend Brian over at High Impact Vlogs. Solid dude. We spoke today on the phone. Check out his channel. Also, if you have reached out to me regarding the crisis actors that have been hired in the Virginia area, he did a knockout video today on that, so check him out. He goes over the posts that were there and the post that was changed because of the kickback by people across the country. So check out Brian, and to make it that much easier for you, I'll put a link to his channel down below in the description, so check him out. He's got some pretty cool damn videos there. If you like this channel, you're going to love him. Also, I want to bring your attention to somebody who's at the forefront in what's going on right now in Missouri as far as getting this bill passed. His name is Patrick, and he runs the Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast. I'll have a link down to his channel down there as well. Doing a lot of work trying to get the elected officials in Missouri to pass this. So why is everybody jumping on this bill? Why does everybody want to talk to you about it? Well, because it's good. So I'm going to go over to this bill. I'll read you a couple key things because it is fantastic. I read this and it made me smile. And doing this full-time, part-time, I don't get to smile a lot lately. So it goes into it and says that this bill shall be known and may be cited as the Second Amendment Preservation Act, and the General Assembly finds and declares that, number one, the General Assembly of the state of Missouri is firmly resolved to support and defend the United States Constitution against every aggression, whether foreign or domestic, and is duty-bound to oppose every infraction of those principles which constitute a basis of the Union of States, because only a faithful observance of those principles can ensure the nation's existence and public happiness. It means the Constitution is there for a reason, and it's value is unspeakable. Also, acting through the U.S. Constitution, the people of the several states created the federal government to be their agent in exercise of a few defined powers. If you know what it's referring to, that means you have read the Constitution and the Declaration and all of the documents that founded this nation. The U.S. government doesn't have a lot of power. They seem to think they do, but they don't.
Take it!
So exercise a few defined powers while reserving to the state governments the power to legislate on matters which concern the lives, liberty, and properties of citizens in ordinary courses of affairs. Number 3, the limitation of the federal government's power is affirmed under the 10th Amendment of the United States Constitution, which defines the total scope of federal power as being that which has been delegated by the people of the several states to the federal government, and all power not delegated to the federal government in the United States is reserved to the states respectively, or to the people themselves. You can see where this is going. It's a big FU to the government, but it continues. It's building here. Number 4, whenever the federal government assumes powers that the people did not grant it in the United States Constitution, its acts are unauthoritative, void, and of no force. They're ratcheting that finger up. I love it. Number 5, the several states of the United States of America respect the proper role of the federal government, but reject the proposition that such respect requires unlimited submission, meaning you don't own us. You work for us. If the government created by a compact among states was the exclusive or final judge of the extent of powers granted to it by the states through the United States Constitution, the federal government's discretion, and not the United States Constitution, would necessarily become the measure of these powers. Meaning, if it had all these power, there would be no checks and balances. To the contrary, as in all other cases of compacts among powers having no common judge, each party has equal right to judge for itself as to the infractions of the compact that have occurred, as well as to determine the mode and measures of redress, meaning we can decide if you're violating this contract we have with you. Although the several states have granted supremacy to laws and treaties made under powers granted in the United States Constitution, such supremacy does not extend to various federal statutes, executive orders, administrative orders, court orders, rules, regulations, or other actions which restrict or prohibit the manufacture, ownership, and use of firearms, firearms accessories, or ammunition exclusively within the borders of Missouri. And then here's the best part. This is what made me smile. The following federal acts, laws, executive orders, administrative orders, court orders, rules, and regulations shall be considered infringements on the people's right to keep and bear arms as guaranteed by the Second Amendment of the Constitution of the United States and Article 1, Section 23 of the Constitution of Missouri, within the borders of this state, including but not limited to, number 1, any tax, levy, fee, or stamp imposed on firearms, firearm accessories, or ammunition not common to all other goods and services which might reasonably be expected to create a chilling effect on the purchase of ownership for those items of law-abiding citizens, meaning you, federal government, do not get to tax guns to make them unobtainable by the local people in Missouri. Number 2, any registering or tracking of firearms. Number 3, any registering or tracking of the owners of firearms means registering. They can't do it in Missouri. Number 4, any act forbidding the possession, ownership, or the use or transfer of a firearm, firearm accessory, blah, 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 blah. You can't tell us what we can transfer. You can't tell us what we can buy. Number 5, any act ordering the confiscation of firearms or accessories or ammo. You can't come and take them either. So right there is a big fist in the sky to the federal government and the ATF about all the stuff they're trying to do lately in places like Virginia, New York, California, Massachusetts, Maryland, you name it, all of the tyrant sanctuaries. This is a direct shot at you. Then it goes into saying it's the duty of the courts and law enforcement agencies of this state to protect the rights of law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms within the borders of this state and to protect these rights from infringement. It also says that no person working as a public officer or a law enforcement officer shall have the authority to enforce or attempt to enforce any federal acts, laws, or executive orders that go against this. And then it goes into saying, if you do it, willingly, knowingly do this, and you violate these provisions while acting under the color of law, which is often an excuse used, that's the old, I was just doing my job, or it's the law excuse, then you shall be liable to the injured party for redress. Means you can get sued and you'll pay. It goes further. If you enforce or attempt to enforce any infringements, or if you give material aid to support the efforts of others to enforce or attempt to enforce any infringements, you will be permanently ineligible to serve as a law enforcement officer or to supervise law enforcement officers for the state or any political subdivision thereof. And if a court decides that any of these officers has taken any type of action that would render him or her ineligible to serve in their capacity under this section, then they shall be immediately terminated from his or her position and required to pay court costs and attorney fees associated with the declaratory judgment. Means do it. You'll get sued and you'll pay. It even defines what a law-abiding citizen shall mean in Missouri, and it shall mean a person who is not otherwise precluded under state law from possessing a firearm, and shall not be construed to include anyone who is not legally present in the United States or the state of Missouri. Meaning, if you don't belong here, you're not covered by us. I hope you get the gist of what's going on here. I really hope you do. This is a big, giant FU to the federal government, to Bloomberg, to Soros, and to the tyrants at large. This is friggin' great. Missouri residents, it is your turn right now to get a hold of your elected officials. Link will be in the description for your House of Representatives and for your Senate. Call them, okay? Call them quickly. They need to pass Senate Bill 588. It is called the Second Amendment Preservation Act, and they need to pass it. The only way they're going to pass it is if enough people call and show support. Not just call if you're near the Capitol or near any of your senators or representatives' hours, your office hours, go. Have a cup of coffee, introduce yourself, and tell them SB 588 is the way to be. All right, a little bit of a longer video. My apologies, but this is so damn great. It needs to get out, and I implore you to read it. Thank you all for your support. It's been tremendous. It's been a very, very busy couple weeks here leading up to Virginia. I'm trying to get out everything as fast as possible. It's just been difficult. There's a lot going on, but you know I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep working for you. And all I'm asking you to do is help support the channel by subscribing. Hit the button down below, hit that bell icon and that thumbs up, and spread the word. Share this with 1,000 of your friends. Wherever you can, spread the word, because this is the stuff that nobody else will see anywhere on the lamestream media, as my friend Brian says. So thank you all for your support. Thank you for your time. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon. Take care, everybody.